Want to turn your screen into a classroom without looking like a beginner? I used to struggle making Excel tutorials that looked professional. Then I found Camtasia, one tool to record, edit, and polish videos fast. In this video, I'll show you how I created a full Excel lesson using just Camtasia. When you open Camtasia for the first time, you'll see the Welcome to Camtasia window. From here, you can open an existing project, access recently created projects, or start a new one using a template. Right now, we'll select New Project. This opens the main Camtasia window. To start recording your screen, click on the Record button, which opens Camtasia's screen recorder. Here, you can choose screen recording options. If you have multiple monitors, they'll all be visible, and you can select the one you want to record. If you want to record a specific region, select the Choose Region option under Custom. Predefined horizontal regions will also be visible. For most educational videos, we use 1920 by 1080 resolution, also known as Full HD. My screen is already set to Full HD, so I'll use that. If you want to record in a square or vertical format, like for mobile reels, Vertical Full HD is also available. After selecting the screen, you can configure camera settings. If you want to record your webcam along with the screen, enable it here and select your available webcam. Next is the microphone option. You'll need to enable and select the one you want to use. If you're using an internal mic or any other, select it for voice recording. We usually disable system audio for educational videos. By default, Camtasia's review option is enabled, turn it off. Before starting the recording, go to Tools, Preferences, Files. By default, Camtasia saves recordings with an automatic name in a default folder. If you found value in this video, like it, share it with your network, and don't forget to subscribe for more game-changing content. Your support means the world, and it helps us keep creating for you. I prefer to get a prompt each time, so I can name the recording and choose a specific folder. Enable this option for better control. Then go to the Shortcuts tab to set your recording hotkeys. By default, F9 is for pause and F10 is for stop. Once you're done setting up, click OK. Since I've already set mine, I'll click Cancel. Now click the Record button. Recording will start with a countdown. You can see the recording duration here. The green bars indicate that your voice is being captured. You can manually pause, stop, or reset the recording from here. This recording tool appears on screen but doesn't get recorded. You can minimize it, which I always recommend. For example, if you're explaining something in Excel, bring the Excel window forward and begin your tutorial. After finishing, pause and stop the recording, name the file, and save it. Once saved, Camtasia will open the project window and your recording will appear on the timeline with a preview. I've already recorded this tutorial, so let's see how to edit it. First, import the media. Go to the Media tab, click the plus button, then Import Media. Select your file and open it. The media will appear in the library. To delete old media, select it and press delete. You can also delete from the timeline the same way. To use the media, drag and drop it onto the timeline and adjust its position. You'll see audio waveforms that indicate sound. After recording, the very first step is to set up the cursor effects. So, let's select the cursor effect. I want a click sound every time I left click. By default, this sound isn't recorded. So to enable it, click on the left click setting, then drag and drop the click sound over your media timeline. On the left hand side, you'll see the left click sound option appear. Adjust the volume to around 40 or 50, so it's audible but not too loud. Above that, in Camtasia, you'll notice the mouse cursor automatically changes shape depending on what's under it, like turning into a plus sign or different icons. But if you want consistency, just select the media, go to Cursor Properties, click on the small arrow next to the cursor icon, and select All from the drop-down. Then pick a single cursor style. Now, no matter where you move the mouse, it'll stay consistent. You can increase the cursor size from here. I'd say 200% is more than enough. You can type this in manually and press enter to apply. Also, make sure to check the option Smooth Cursor across edits to ensure the mouse movement looks natural and smooth. Next, we move on to editing the media. Drag the unwanted sections from the left-hand side and trim them. For example, if you don't see any sound waves in the audio bar, it means there's silence. To remove it, pick the left edge of the clip and drag it towards the right to adjust. If there's an unwanted portion in the middle of the clip, bring the playhead to that point, select the segment using your mouse, and press Ctrl+X. You can also use the split tool to cut and remove any unnecessary sections. Repeat this process for other unwanted parts. Now, let's add zoom and pan effects to highlight specific areas. Suppose I want to zoom into the top left corner. First, position the playhead where you want the zoom, go to Animations, Zoom and Pan, and drag the zoom box over the desired area. Adjust it slowly for a smooth transition. Once your explanation is complete, if you want to return to the full view, click on Scale to Fit and drag the animation further along the timeline if needed. If this video helped you even a little, give it a thumbs up. It really makes a difference. Suppose now I want to highlight another option on the screen. This time I'll slightly tilt the view to make it more visually engaging. For this, go to Visual Properties, select the object, and manually enter values for the X rotation axis. You'll notice a nice tilt effect. You can experiment with other values until it looks good. If you want this tilt to be more noticeable, apply Custom Animation, right-click, and choose Add to Selected Media. Then modify the X value accordingly. You can make the animation smoother by dragging it out over time. Once the tilt animation is complete and you want to zoom back out, again select Scale to Fit from the Animation panel and adjust its position in the timeline. Let's now move to the Annotation section. On the left-hand side, under Annotations, you'll find many options. I usually use sketch motions to highlight parts of the screen. Just drag and drop it on your timeline, or right-click and select Add to Timeline. Adjust its size and position using the mouse. You'll find all the visual properties on the right panel, like thickness, draw time, flip, etc. You can also go to Visual Effects and drag-drop shadow onto the annotation for better visibility. Important: always apply zoom in-out animations before adding annotations, or else the annotation might not align correctly. After all the animations and annotations are done, we'll now add the intro. Go back to the Media tab. In the Camtasia library or your own custom library, you can find intro templates. I've made one of my own. Just drag and drop it to the beginning of the timeline. You can also add a title text like Excel interface and adjust it accordingly. Play it once to preview how it looks. Once everything is finalized, click on the Export button, select Local File, give your file a name, and make sure the resolution is set to 1920x1080 with 30 frames per second and quality around 60 to 70%. If you want to add a watermark, go to Options, select the watermark image, and adjust its position and opacity. Keep it around 25 to 30% so it doesn't distract viewers. Finally, click on Export, and your video will start rendering as an MP4 file in your selected folder. Thanks for watching.